You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football and Turkish Super League podcast. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. Welcome to a brand new edition of Turkish Football and Turkish Super League podcast. Next 15 minutes, we'll recap what happened in the week 3, and then we'll preview the week 4 for you. But before that, we'll recap what happened with the Champions League playoff matches between Galatasaray and Young's Boy, and also today, Başakşehir advanced to Conference League. TurkishSoccer.com's podcast we have a new sponsor. I want to introduce you that. And when you listen to this podcast, make sure to click on the link and softscore.com, where you get all your scores from all over the world, up to the minute. You can follow every football match, any sports, on this app, software.com. Just Google software. So I want to thank them. They are our brand new, the first sponsors. They will be sponsoring this podcast, also my Facebook page, Instagram page, and on Twitter too. Thanks again to softwarescore.com. Please, when you click on there, mention the Turkish Soccer at Turkish Soccer and Turkish Football name. Well, let's recap what happened this past, 7-8 days since we had the last podcast. We talked about the week 2, and then we previewed for you the week 3. As you know, the teams that represents Turkey was not playing in the week 3, and there was a lot of things happening in this past 7-8 days. I told you guys I was going to do my podcast on Thursday. Want to wait for Beşiktaş and Trabzonspor played. Because of my personal business, I'm going to do this podcast on Wednesday. So whatever happens between Beşiktaş and Lugano and Trabzonspor match on Thursday, we'll talk about that in the next podcast. So I say a lot of things happen. Let's start with the week 3. Fenerbahçe scoring a lot of 5 goals and capturing the first place, while Beşiktaş, Galatasaray, and did not play this weekend, as I said. On Friday, league's brand new team, newcomer, Eyüpspor captured the first place for temporary, and Fenerbahçe captured it back with scoring 5 goals against Rizespor in Rize. Chaos started there. As you know, what happens with all these fans that if you're a Galatasaray fan and Fenerbahçe is playing, and you know what's going to happen. They're going to complain about the referee, any player, and same way it goes with Beşiktaş. So in this match against Fenerbahçe, Rizespor goalkeeper played awful. I agree. But it's not to say this guy, I cannot agree with that. I mean, he might have, I don't want to use that word, but he was just awful. And Fenerbahçe, first time, the special one, Joseph Mourinho's Fenerbahçe, looked good first time after getting booted out from the Champions League playoff matches. So, Fenerbahçe in the week 3 captured the first place. They are in the first place. Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, Başakşehir did not play. Beşiktaş had a bye in the week 3. And let's talk about what happened right now. Before I go into a chaos, what happened with the Galatasaray Young Boys team, I want to give you good news. Fenerbahçe's young and Turkish national team young player, Ferdi Kadıoğlu. He is transferred finally to EPL team, Brighton team. $35 million with all the extras. This kid, if you follow me on Twitter, I noticed this kid, Ferdi Kadıoğlu, back in 2016 when he was in Belgium playing for a small team. That team, after getting Ferdi transferring to Brighton to play in EPL, English Premier League, that team, the farm team, will get close to €1.5 million for bringing up and giving all that farm team level instructions to Ferdi. So Ferdi Kadıoğlu will not play for Fenerbahçe. We will see him in the EPL, and Brighton looks good so far. They are winning their matches. Love to see his first match when he plays in the EPL. Congratulations to Ferdi Kadıoğlu. Fenerbahçe, even though they're in a lot of chaos too, they are making money selling these players. Over 4 or 5 players they sold to Europe. They made over 120 million euros. Congratulations to them. Beşiktaş got a center back on a loan, Felix Udokia, and he's a German player. He's coming from Augsburg team. He's a center back, and it's a loan deal. I hope probably this will make better defense for Beşiktaş because they need it. As you probably heard me talking about Beşiktaş last podcast, even though they have a very good upfront forwards, but their defense are not very good, especially left and right. Well, in the week 3, the Friday, there was only one match. Alanya tied with Göztepe 1-1. Saturday, Sivasspor lost at home against Eyüpspor. Another controversial referee problems over there. And Bodrumspor beat Konyaspor 3-1. On Sunday, there were no matches on Monday. Kasımpaşa at home tied 2-2 with Adana Demirspor. Adana Demirspor got their first point after week 3. Rizespor, as I told you, lost to Fenerbahçe at home 5-0. And in Antalya came back to beat Hatayspor with 3-2 score. And there were 22 goals scored in this short week and short matches. So not bad for having at least 6 matches in one weekend while the other teams did not play. 22 goals, not bad. So in looking at the standings, there are 2 teams with 7 points. Fenerbahçe with 7, Eyüp with 7, Beşiktaş, Galatasaray with 6, and Başakşehir with 4 points. There are 3 other teams with Başakşehir, Sivas, Antalya, and Rizespor with 4 points. 9th place, Göztepe, and along with Göztepe, there are 5 teams with 3 points, and the Kayseri, 19th team on the bottom, has 0 points still. But Kayseri, they were supposed to play a match this weekend, but because of the European competitions, they did not. And one weekend, they had a bye. So Adana Demirspor, I said, they have 1 point, and there are 2 other teams with 1 point. Trabzonspor, Hatayspor. So this coming weekend 4, should be a lot of fun, and we should see a lot of surprise scores there. Let's get to European competition matches. The biggest story right now in Turkey, Turkish football, Galatasaray, they are out of the Champions League. They lost their first match against Young Boys, and then they came home. They lost that match at home in front of 50,000 Galatasaray fans. I have not seen Galatasaray this bad for at least 2 years. Remember when Okan Buruk took this team from Torrent, Galatasaray was 13th place, and after that year, they were the champions. They were the champions last year, but I think with the transfers this season, Galatasaray is boiling on the pitch and off the pitch. Batshuayi scoring 2 after coming as a sub, coming to the first game, scoring 2 goals, changed Okan Buruk's format. And Okan Buruk put Batshuayi and Icardi on the same lineup just yesterday against Young Boys in front of 50,000 people. I seen Icardi coming to defense. I seen Icardi throwing ball, touchline. I seen Icardi walking on the field. I think Icardi was not happy having Batshuayi on the pitch with 2 forwards. There's a lot of problems right now on the pitch, off the pitch. But Galatasaray is out, and this is a huge blow to Turkish football. Second time in 3 years, there will be no Turkish team in the Champions League. That is awful for Turkish football. All that transfers these teams are doing, it's going to be a very tough going for Galatasaray, I can tell you. Galatasaray fans are very mad, upset. They want the officials resign. They want the coach, Okan Buruk, to resign. We'll see. But one thing, from bad to ugly, what happened in that last night, Muslera, in the 88th minute, after Young Boys scored a goal, the goal scorer was kicked by Muslera, and Muslera got red carded. Now, if he didn't get that red card, there was at least 12, 13 minutes more. I think he ruined it for Galatasaray right there. But overall, Galatasaray did not have any plan for both matches. They looked bad. If you remember my first podcast this season, I said Galatasaray is not the Galatasaray that we know. They have gotten they paid a lot of new money for new transfers, and they were on the bench. They have a Zaha problem. So Galatasaray will be in the Europa League along with Fenerbahce, and tomorrow Beşiktaş, if they beat Lugano, they will be hopefully in the Europa League, and Trabzonspor, if they beat St. Gallen, and they will be in the Conference League. So tomorrow's matches is very important for Turkey. But not having any team in the Champions League, it is from bad to ugly for Turkish football. All I have to say that. So good luck to Beşiktaş and Trabzonspor. And after those matches play, week 4 will start on Friday. And Fenerbahce will be at home against Alanya. And Saturday matches, there are 3 matches. Konyaspor will be at home against Kayseri. Rizespor will be at home against Kasımpaşa. Göztepe will host another agency team, Bodrumspor in Izmir. And Adana Demirspor will host Galatasaray in Adana. On Sunday, Başakşehir will be at home against Antalya. Eyüp will host Trabzon. Hatayspor will host Samsunspor. Beşiktaş will be at home against Samsun. And Gaziantepspor will have a bye. So, I know my 15 minutes is coming up to end. Only 30 seconds. Again, thanks for listening. Also, thanks for our new sponsor, softscore.com. Visit them, and we'll talk to you after week 4 matches played. But it was a bad weekend for Turkish football. Let's hope that Beşiktaş and Trabzonspor wins tomorrow. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. listen to my podcast wherever you listen to your podcast.